Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to study about remaining portion related to benign prostate hyperplasia. Okay. So you all are know in our previous session we are already completed some portion related to BPH condition. So here have some remaining portion about BPH problem. So now let's go. We will see. So here first thing is diagnostic evaluation about BPH condition. So in a period of BPH there is having lots of diagnostic evaluation tool for detecting the condition of BPH period. So let's go, we will see one by one. So first diagnostic evaluation is history and physical examination. Students, you all are know history and physical examination are very important kind of diagnostic evaluation tool for detect the cause and as well as monitor the symptoms related to disease. Okay. Now digital rectal examination, it is also very important kind of investigation, because if person suffering by the BPH, that condition, that person definitely have a risk for rectal area also problematic. So that's why rectal examination also necessary. Urine analysis why? Just because of we monitor urine problems. If person is suffer BPH, that condition, that person maybe the chance have a urine formation, urine excretion, that kind of problems also arising. Okay, so that's why urine analysis also very important investigation. Urine culture, why? Because if person suffer BPH, that condition, maybe the chances of any kind of infection arising in a bladder and urethral side, just because of enlargement of prostate gland, or maybe the chances of prostate gland affected, just duration. So by the urine culture we just detect the any kind of pathogenic organism, any kind of the miscellaneous substance is available there or not. That's why. Okay students, now next one is PSA, prostate specific antigen. So we just withdraw some sample related to prostate gland and we just monitor prostate gland hormonal substance by the PSA examination. Okay, now next one is transrectal ultrasound. We monitor ultrasound in the area of rectal side, just because of BPH condition is spreading in that area or not. Now uroflowmetry, it is one kind of important investigation in duration of BPH period. What we monitor by uroflowmetry? So we monitor urine volume by the uroflowmetry. Urine flow rate or urinary flow rate is the volumetry flow rate or during urination. Okay, so during the urination we monitor volume of urine by the uroflowmetry. Okay students, now next investigation are measure post-voidal residual urine. So it is also one kind of investigation in duration of BPH. So what we monitor by this kind of investigation? So post-voidal residual urine test measure the amount of urine left in the bladder after the urination. Okay, if a person suffering by the BPH and that person is excreting the urine, and then after how much the left of urine is available in bladder, we monitor by the post-voidal residual urine. Now last diagnostic evaluation for the BPH is cystourethroScopy. It is also called cystoscopy. Okay guys, is a procedure that leads a urologist and view the inside of the bladder and urethra in detail. So you all are know, we already seen and study about BPH in previous slide. If person is suffering by the BPH, that condition, that person maybe also have a risk for the urethral side problem as well as bladder problem. Just because of that, here cystourethroScopy is performed for the monitor of the bladder and urethra proper detail. Okay, so it's all about the diagnostic evaluation of the condition BPH situation. I hope you all are understand. Now we will see management for the BPH condition. So here have a lots of management for BPH condition, like first management medication, second it therapy, third surgical approaches. Okay students, so let's go, we will see one by one. Pharmacological management. Alpha blockers agent is very helpful medicine for the BPH condition, and how this medication relax bladder, neck muscles and muscles fiber in the prostate, making urination easier. Alpha blocker, which include alfuzosin and doxazosine and tamsulosin, silodosin, and usually work quickly in the men with the relatively small prostates. So basically alpha blocker are very important and very important medicine for the BPH condition, just because of if we are giving the alpha blocker medicine for the patient, that condition, that patient muscles of the bladder and fiber muscles in over the bladders is basically relaxed by the alpha blocker, and person able to excrete proper urine in duration of the BPH condition. So it is also very useful medication. Okay students, now we will next medication 5-alpha reducase inhibitor. So this medication string prostate by preventing hormonal changes that cause prostate growth, and this medication, which include finasteride and dutasteride, might take up to 6 months to be effective. So it is also very important kind of medicine and medicine for the BPH condition. And how it is help for the BPH condition, just because of preventing hormonal changes in duration of BPH, and then after we are capable to treat the BPH condition. Because student, we all are know if person suffer by the BPH, that condition hormonal changes also altered, so that's why we are giving in this kind of medicine. Okay, now we will see next thing. So next thing for management is heat therapy. So by the heat therapy, destroy prostate tissue with heat, and another thing is tissue is left in the body and is expelled over the called slugging, and here have a different kind of technique for this kind of therapy. Transurethral microwave therapy, transurethral needle ablation therapy, interstitial laser coagulation therapy, water induced thermotherapy. So basically by the heat therapy we just destroy prostate tissue. If you a large amount of prostate tissue, that condition we are just destroying by this kind of therapy, and then after we are capable to treat condition of the BPH. Now in a BPH condition have a lots of surgery, so let's go, we will see surgical management. So students, we all are know before the intervention of surgery and before perform the surgery, our first thing is pre-operative intervention. It is very necessary. So firstly we will see pre-operative management or pre-operative intervention in duration of BPH condition. So first pre-operative management for BPH condition is avoid alcohol or caffeine, avoid cold as it causes smooth muscles contraction. That's why advised to urinate in every 2 to 3 hours, normal fluid intake to avoid fluid intake and volume overloaded, and catheterization, just preventing the duration of intervention of surgery for the urination period, and antibiotic before and invasive procedures. Okay, so this kind of management is very important management for the pre-operative condition before performing the surgery. Now we will see intraoperative management. It means surgical management. So surgical approaches, several approaches can be used to remove the hypertrophoid portion of the prostate gland. So basically in a condition of BPH, there is having two kind of surgery performed. First closed surgery, okay, second open surgery. So in a closed surgery have a different kind of surgical management. Transurethral resection of the prostate, transurethral incision of the prostate, and in open surgical management for BPH, suprapubic prostatectomy, perineal prostatectomy, and retropubic prostatectomy. So let's go, we will see one by one and what we do in particular kind of surgery. So first surgery here is suprapubic prostatectomy surgery. Suprapubic prostatectomy is one method of removing the gland through an abdominal incision. An incision is made into the bladder and the prostate gland is removed from above. So basically what we do in this kind of surgery, we just remove prostate gland, affected side of prostate gland, or maybe the chances for prostate gland. by this kind of surgery, and in the area of incision side of abdominal suprapubic area, and we remove the prostate gland basically in this kind of surgery. Okay, so it is the first surgery. Now we will see second surgery, perineal prostatectomy surgery. So students, you all are not, tomy means what? Tomy means remove. So here also we remove prostate gland. Perineal prostatectomy involves removing the gland through an incision in the perineum. This approach is a practical when other approaches are not possible and is useful for an open biopsy. So basically we are just firstly incision in the side of perineum area, and just we remove prostate gland by this kind of surgery. Okay, now we will see next surgery, retropubic prostatectomy surgery. So retropubic prostatectomy, another technique, is more common than the suprapubic. The surgeon makes a low abdominal incision and approaches the prostate gland between the pubic arch and the bladder without entering the bladder. So it is a very common kind of surgery for the BPH condition, and as compared to suprapubic approach, it is very common, and it is also performed by the surgeon. And what do we do in this kind of surgery? We also remove prostate gland, but in which area incision? Abdominal incision, in lower abdominal incision, and without entering in the bladder side. Okay, so it is about retropubic prostatectomy surgery. Now we will see next surgery, transurethral resection of the prostate surgery. So here also removal of prostate tissue using a cystoscope inserted through the urethra, excision and cutation under the spinal or general anesthesia. So here what we do, we just remove a prostate tumor, or prostate tissue. Okay, so in this kind of surgery also we perform by the physician, and we remove the prostate tissue by this kind of surgery in the entering side of the urethra. We just enter firstly urethra side, then after we go into the prostate gland and we remove the prostate tissue by this kind of surgery. Okay students, and this kind of surgery, firstly we give the general anesthesia, then after we perform. Okay, so anesthesia is also very necessary for each and every kind of surgery. Now we will see next thing for BPH condition. Okay, so here have a post-operative management. We all are know after the surgery patient need lots of care, so we just do the post-operative management. So first thing is main complication: hemorrhage, bladder, spasm, urine incontinence, infection. So maybe the chances person not treating by the BPH condition, that condition person maybe they have this kind of complication arising, or sometimes maybe the chances after the surgery also arising this kind of problem. So we monitor this kind of problem and proper treat that particular kind of problem. Bladder irrigation with normal saline, picnocolloids. So after the surgery we perform bladder irrigation for proper functioning of GI process, and monitor inflow or output of the irrigant, proper monitor inflow and outflow also. Catheter care also, because after the surgery person have a catheterized that condition, we are just perform catheter care, just preventing the infection in the perineal area, in the separate area. Okay, avoid activity that increase the abdominal pressure. Patient maybe the chance have a problem related to pain after the surgery, so we just avoid patient activity and encourage the patient, you just avoid some time for the activity. This kind of encouragement we give to the patient. Then to relieve bladder spasm, opium and substitutorious anti-spasmodic with relaxation technique. So we just give that kind of medicine for proper treatment of the patient after the surgery. Okay students, so it's all about the post-operative management for the condition of BPH period. If person have a post-operated or a post surgery, that condition we have performed that kind of thing. Now we will see our next thing related to BPH. Okay, here also have some post-operative care. After the catheter removal, patient should urinate within 6 hours. Okay, and patients should practice pelvic floor muscles technique it means Kegel exercise. Encouraged to practice straining and stopping the stream during the inundation. Dietary management also very important after the surgery for proper healing in the area of surgery site. Fiber and easily digestible food. Stool softness and avoid straining during the defection. Avoid heavy weight lifting after the surgery, and sexual counseling also very necessary after the surgery related to BPH condition. Okay guys, now we will see complication related to BPH. So here have a lots of complication. Maybe the person have a risk in duration of BPH, like first acute urinary retention. So what is the retention? Retention means person problem for the urine excretion. Okay. UTI, urinary tract infection, sometimes chance related to patient of BPH. Sepsis secondary to UTI also. Incomplete bladder, emptying and residual urine, and stone formation sometime. If person is not proper excreting urine, that condition, that person have a risk for the stone formation in the bladder or urethral side. Hydronephrosis also happen after the BPH, or maybe the chances do not proper treated of BPH, that condition. Pyelonephritis also maybe the chances happen, and bladder damage maybe also chance if a duration of the BPH, and if BPH is not proper treated, that condition. Okay students, so this kind of complication may be the chance in a duration of BPH, and after the BPH person suffer by the BPH, that condition have a risk that kind of this kind of complication sometime. So it's all about the BPH, benign prostate hyperplasia hypertrophy. And thank you for listening me about to this session. If you have any doubt related BPH, so please ask me and contact me. Okay students.